to be pegged. Put it down there below. Let me know what you think. All right, now let's move on to our next blind item. So this one is about Dorit and PK. Now I'm going to play that same little snippet because she talks about this in that same snippet. So I'm going to play that now for you guys, just so you know where it's coming from.
You want more? I'll give you more. Ready for a Rolodex of Real Housewives blind items? Let's go. This former housewife hires someone to, I don't know if I can say this on TikTok, PEG her husband. That is Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin. This former housewife sleeps with the distributors to get her products on the shelves. I don't want to get a C&D, so I'm going to call her Ethany Kankles. This Real Housewife has slept with multiple men over the years to pay off her husband's debts. That is Dorit and PK. This New Jersey housewife's husband has shot MLM corn, and I don't mean the multi-level marketing kind. That is Melissa and Joe Gorga.
All right, you guys. So basically what that blind item is rumoring is that, or alleging rather, is that Dorit has engaged in sexual favors or sex in exchange for, negating or paying off PK's debts and the money that he owes to men or to banks or whatever, basically pimping herself out to clear his debts. Now, again, this is just alleged rumor for entertainment. But let's think about that. This is according to People magazine. It says Real Housewife of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley's husband Paul's assets could be seized. Over $1.2 million in unpaid loan. Paul PK Kemsley is an English businessman who also manages Boy George's career. Paul PK Kemsley risked having his wages, money, and property seized without further warning unless he pays back the over $1.2 million in unpaid loans, according to court documents obtained by The Blast. A man named Nikos Chrysis is making the claim against PK, the husband of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley. According to the lawsuit, the problem stems back to 2011 when Chrysis loaned PK, an English businessman who also manages Boy George's career, a $1.2 million sum. PK had allegedly agreed to pay back the money by 2013, but never did. Instead, filing for bankruptcy a year prior. Chrysis claims in the suit. PK argued that filing wiped him from Chrysis' debt, but Chrysis notes that he was never listed as a creditor in PK's bankruptcy case. So in 2016, Chrysis opened a lawsuit in a New York court asking for the money owed, including interest and other costs. Later that year, a judge sided with Chrysis, ordering PK to pay up, the paper state. PK made a payment on the debt, but only a small amount. Chrysis claims he allegedly still owes $1,275,221.48. Now, Chrysis has registered the New York court's judgment in California where PK lives, which will help creditors begin the process of seizing his assets. PK's rep had no comment. However, he joked about the proceedings on Instagram by posting a meme showing 2 loaves of bread with the words "for sale" and pair of loafers. Reports on my family's downfall have been greatly exaggerated. Please see an image of the shoes I've just got, Dorit, he wrote. It's not PK's only legal battle. The Bellagio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas is also going after him for unpaid casino markers. PK argued that the bankruptcy filing had wiped the $3.6 million. He agreed to make payments until June of 2018, but stopped paying, still owing over $2 million. In September, the Bellagio took PK to court and was granted judgment to go after PK to seize the assets, the blast reported. Now, that is not the only legal problems they've had. So, Dorit also said that they froze her bank account prior to another one of the judge's orders. I don't know which one, but all of her bank accounts got frozen. And also, they were selling one of their homes. It says Dorit, Kemsley, and husband PK attempt to sell house on $1 million listing after $4 million price cut because they were cash poor and they needed money. Let's not also forget the allegations that they staged their house being broken into as an insurance scam in order to get the insurance money. And right after they got the insurance money, PK was able to pay off that 2 point something million dollar debt that he had owed to one of the casinos in Las Vegas. So PK has a history of owing businesses, banks, people, casinos, money. He did the same thing to Barclays, however you pronounce it, the big bank over there in the UK. He did the same thing to them, and I think he stiffed them out of $5 million, and there was a huge suit against him there as well. It's the same bank that Diana Jenkins' ex-husband also was one of the vice presidents of, but from the digging I did, there was no correlation between PK's defaulted loan and bankruptcy with that bank and Diana Jenkins' ex-husband. It just seemed that way because two men who were both vice presidents there had the same last name of Jenkins, but they served at different times. I forget what their first names were, but it doesn't seem like Diana Jenkins' ex-husband had anything to do with that particular loan. So, am I saying this is true? No, I don't know. This is just for fun. These are allegations. These are rumors. These are blind items. This is entertainment. But is where there's smoke, there's fire. Is it plausible? Yes, it is plausible. He's a man who for decades has been in debt. He was overseeing this billion-dollar company. And as we all know, that company also went bankrupt. He also used to be on a very almost like apprentice show over in the UK. And then I think he got fired because his business went bankrupt. And so we know that he has shady business dealings. He's been in debt, gambling debts, shady characters, all of this stuff. We know that Dorit has had her own financial problems. She was in the Bahamas with a woman running around her being like, you owe my friends money. Like the people who invested in Beverly Beach, they're like, we want our money back. Like what happened to our money? Because there's no actual brand. There's no Beverly Beach, right? So they have had a history of having money problems, of being kind of grifters, of being fraudsters, of being scammers. So is it plausible? Is there a world where I could think he's in business with some shady people? And at some point, it's not about the money. It's always about power and respect, right? At certain times. So would a shady person be like, hey, let me sleep with your wife and I'll clear your debt? Sure, it sounds like some mafia, mob, I don't know, weird stuff. Do I think that's plausible? I do think it's plausible. I'm not saying this is true and I am not saying this a fact, but I'm just saying, could I see in a world where you are indebted to very shady people and you clearly do not have the money to pay them off? Is that something that they would say could go down? Because also, unfortunately, in the majority of the cultures in the world, women are objectified. It's like a man's property, right? Oh, let me get your woman. Let me take your woman. It's like a property thing. It's about bravado. It's about the machismo and control and power. And it's also about embarrassment. Like, I got your girl, man. Do you know what I mean? So do I think it's plausible? Yeah. Do I believe it happened? I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not in her sheet. I'm not in the thing. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to know what you guys think. Mademoiselle says Camille has to come back. I think this is where she left off. When she left, she was exposing Dorit. Taurus says Dorit Umansky. Kristen says, I don't doubt the robbery was staged. Exactly. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat box. LA Stone Gal says, oh my gosh, WTF. Miss Angel Bless says, let's not forget that one of the Bravo execs is a partner in the new crypto business PK has. Exactly. It's all very incestuous. It's all very weird. It's all very bizarre. It's all very, very questionable. Okay. Now, and I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is plausible that he got into some debt and it's with some weird shady people and they were like, hey, let me get your girl and I'll clear off some of your debt? I think it's plausible. I'm not saying it's true, but I think it's plausible. I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Okay, now let's move on to our next segment, which is all right. So the next segment is now, Kyle. Has Kyle been caught lying